We've all seen them, the sunburnt tourist, lobster red, face contorted in pain, desperately applying aloe vera after a day without sunscreen. Or the poor soul, stranded at the airport carousel, luggage lost in the void, left with nothing but the clothes on their back and a growing sense of dread. But what if I told you, most of these mishaps could be avoided with a little foresight and a dash of street smarts? That's what Uncharted Escapes is all about. We're here to guide you, not with the glossy brochures and staged smiles, but with the raw, unfiltered truth about navigating this crazy world. So buckle up, kids, because we're about to embark on a journey to equip you with the knowledge to not just survive your next adventure, but to truly thrive in it. We've all been there, staring into the abyss of an empty suitcase, gripped by the primal urge to pack for every possible scenario. This, my friends, is the siren song of overpacking, and it's a trap best avoided. Remember, every extra ounce you pack becomes a lead weight on your shoulders as you navigate cobblestone streets or sprint through airports. That cute little roller bag suddenly transforms into a medieval torture device, testing the limits of your sanity and spinal column. And for what? Let's be honest, half the things we pack never leave the confines of our suitcases. The truth is, traveling light is traveling free. Free from the shackles of excess baggage fees, free from the backache of 1,000 souvenirs, and free to embrace the serendipitous moments that true travel offers. Trust me, your spine will thank you for it. Let's talk dirty money, shall we? Not the kind that gets you a one-way ticket to a foreign prison, but the kind that leaves you feeling like you've been fleeced. You know what I'm talking about? Those airport currency exchange kiosks with their seductive promises of convenience and their predatory exchange rates. Exchanging money at the airport is like ordering a $10 beer at a dive bar. You're just asking to be ripped off. Those exorbitant fees and terrible exchange rates are designed to prey on the unprepared traveler. So what's the alternative? Well, you've got options, my friend. Your bank back home is usually your best bet for decent exchange rates. ATMs are another solid choice. Just make sure you're aware of any foreign transaction fees your bank might charge. And for the love of all that is holy, avoid those shady currency exchange booths you find lurking in tourist traps. Remember, knowledge is power, and knowing where to get the best bang for your buck is essential for any savvy traveler. We've all been there. You've got your color-coded spreadsheet, your minute-by-minute itinerary, your alarm set for ungodly hours to catch that sunrise over the whatever it is. You're on a mission to squeeze every last drop of experience out of your trip. But here's the thing. Sometimes the best experiences are the ones you don't plan for. The beauty of travel lies in its ability to surprise you, to lead you down unexpected paths, and introduce you to hidden gems you never knew existed. But when you're chained to a rigid schedule, you miss out on those serendipitous moments. So loosen the reins a little. Leave room for spontaneity. Let yourself get lost in the back alleys, stumble upon that hole-in-the-wall restaurant with the mouth-watering aromas, strike up a conversation with a local who might just share a hidden gem or two. Remember, travel is not a race to see everything. It's about immersing yourself in the culture, connecting with the people, and creating memories that will last a lifetime. Let's face it, those brightly lit generic restaurants with laminated menus and photos of the food plastered all over the windows, they're like the culinary equivalent of a tourist trap. Sure, they're convenient, they're familiar, and they speak your language literally, but they're also a missed opportunity to truly savor the flavors of a place. Venturing beyond the tourist bubble and into the heart of local cuisine is like stepping into another world. Seek out those hole-in-the-wall eateries where the locals gather, where the aromas hit you before you even see the menu. Don't be afraid to ask for recommendations from locals, the taxi driver, the shopkeeper, the old lady selling flowers on the corner. So ditch the tourist traps and embark on a culinary adventure. Listen up, because this next one is non-negotiable. Skipping travel insurance is like playing Russian roulette with your well-being. And trust me, the odds are not in your favor. We get it, travel insurance isn't exactly the sexiest item on your travel checklist. But it's the one thing that can save your ass when the unexpected hits the fan. Because let's face it, shit happens, especially when you're on the road. A missed flight, a lost bag, a sudden illness, these are the travel curveballs that can turn your dream trip into a logistical nightmare. And without travel insurance, you're left to navigate these challenges on your own, often with a hefty price tag attached. So do yourself a favor and invest in travel insurance. It's a small price to pay for peace of mind. Now, let's talk about the music of travel. No, not the cheesy elevator music they play in hotel lobbies, but the sweet symphony of human connection that comes from speaking even a few words of the local language. Look, I get it. Learning a new language can feel as daunting as climbing Mount Everest with a dictionary as your only guide. But trust me, you don't need to be fluent to make a difference. Even a handful of basic phrases, hello, thank you, excuse me, can open doors, literally and figuratively. It shows respect for the local culture, an effort to connect on their terms, and believe me, it goes a long way. Imagine this. You're at a bustling market, haggling over the price of a hand-woven rug. You stumble through a few phrases in the local tongue, maybe even crack a joke or two. The vendor's face softens, a smile spreads across their lips, and suddenly, you're not just another tourist, you're a guest. So, ditch the phrase book, embrace the awkwardness, and give it a go. You might be surprised at how a few simple words can unlock a world of cultural richness and human connection. We live in a digital age, a time when our entire lives are stored on tiny devices that fit in our pockets. And while I'm all for embracing technology, there's something to be said for the old-school wisdom of having physical backups of your important documents. Think of it as a safety net, a backup plan for when technology inevitably fails you. Because let's face it, phones get lost, stolen, or die at the most inconvenient times. We're talking about your passport, your visa, your driver's license, your travel insurance, the essential documents that grant you access to countries, transportation, and in some cases, your hard-earned cash. Make photocopies of everything, stash them separately from the originals, and for good measure, email yourself digital copies as well. Remember, when it comes to travel, redundancy is your friend. Let's be real. Hopping on a local bus or train might not sound as glamorous as hailing a private car, but trust me, it's an experience in itself. It's a chance to rub shoulders with the locals, to observe the rhythms of daily life, and to see the city from a different perspective. Forget the sterile confines of a tourist bus. We're talking about rickety buses with character, crowded subway cars with a soundtrack of street musicians, and those charming local trains that chug through breathtaking landscapes. It's an adventure in itself, a crash course in the local culture, and often a hilarious story waiting to happen. And let's not forget the cost savings. Public transportation is almost always cheaper than taxis or private cars. So, ditch the tourist bubble, embrace the chaos, and hop on board. You might just be surprised at where you end up. In the age of the internet, there's no excuse for stumbling into a hotel from hell. We've all been there, lured by the glossy photos and promises of luxury, only to arrive at a dingy room with questionable plumbing and a view of the dumpster. But fear not, fellow travelers, because the internet has armed us with the most potent weapon against such disasters: online reviews. Think of it as tapping into the collective wisdom of fellow travelers, a digital grapevine where you can glean the good, the bad, and the downright ugly truth about accommodations around the world. No longer do we have to rely on the carefully curated narratives of travel brochures or the dubious claims of hotel websites. These days, we have access to a treasure trove of unfiltered, uncensored reviews from real people who've walked those hallowed halls, slept in those beds, and braved those hotel breakfasts. So before you book, take a deep dive into the world of online reviews. A little bit of research goes a long way in ensuring a comfortable and memorable stay. Listen up, because this last tip could save your bacon. Literally. We're talking about the art of the emergency kit. A small, carefully curated collection of essentials that will become your best friend when the unexpected strikes. Trust me, it's like having a miniature survival kit tucked away in your bag, ready to tackle anything from a minor mishap to a full-blown crisis. Now, we're not talking about packing for a zombie apocalypse here. Just a few basic items that can make all the difference when you're far from the comforts of home. Start with the basics: Band-Aids, pain relievers, antiseptic wipes, those little lifesavers that can tackle blisters, headaches, and the occasional encounter with questionable street food. And don't forget the most essential item of all: water. Staying hydrated is crucial, especially when you're exploring new climates and pushing your physical limits. Remember, An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, and a well-stocked emergency kit is your secret weapon for staying healthy, happy, and prepared for whatever adventures come your way. And there you have it, folks. The unvarnished truth about navigating the world of travel. Remember, the journey is as much about the unexpected detours as it is about the planned destinations. So embrace the unknown, pack your sense of adventure and a healthy dose of skepticism, and get out there. If you found these tips helpful, don't forget to subscribe to Uncharted Escapes TV for more insightful travel guidance and tips. We'll be sharing our hard-won wisdom, debunking travel myths, and equipping you with the knowledge to travel smarter, not harder. Safe travels, my friends.